There was a time when the land knew magic in its bones, when man knew the nature, not machines. The old ways were respected then, and witches revered. A better world, perhaps. But times move on, and if we do not move with it, the ages of witchcraft will be lost to us forever. I feel the approach of one who may prove ready for such challenges, who can embrace your past and unlock the future. One who has known hardship and pain. She has travelled far, yet the path ahead of her will prove great, and she has ever known. Our downfall or our salvation, only time will tell. The Tale of Vasilisa the Brave. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a merchant and his beautiful daughter, Vasilisa. Vasilisa was a kind and brave as she was lovely, and everyone in the village adored her. Her mother, who had always loved her deeply, grew ill when Vasilisa was still a child. On her deathbed, the mother called Vasilisa to her side and gave her a small wooden doll. "My dear daughter," she said, "take this doll with you wherever you go. If you ever find yourself in trouble, feed it a little food and drink, and it will help you. But remember, never tell anyone about it." With these words, Vasilisa's mother passed away, leaving her with the doll and a heavy heart. After some time, Vasilisa's father remarried. A new stepmother was a cruel and jealous woman who had two equally wicked daughters. They envied Vasilisa's beauty and grace and took every opportunity to make her life miserable. They forced her to do all the hardest chores, hoping to wear her down. But no matter how hard they worked, Vasilisa never complained. She kept her doll close, and whenever she felt overwhelmed, she would sneak away, feed the doll, and ask for its advice. The doll would always eat the food and say, "Don't worry, Vasilisa. Go to sleep, and by the morn, all will be done." When Vasilisa woke, the tasks would magically be completed, and the stepmother and stepsisters would grow even more furious. One day, Vasilisa's father had to leave on a long journey for business, and during his absence, the stepmother concocted an even more wicked plan. They moved the family to a dark forest near the domain of Baba Jaga, the fearsome witch. Baba Jaga was known for her terrible powers, and it was said that she ate anyone who dared to enter the enchanted territory. One evening, the stepmother gave all the candles in the house to her daughters and Vasilisa, instructing them to work late into the night. One by one, the stepsisters accidentally let their candles burn out, until only Vasilisa's candle remained. The stepmother seized her chance and said, "You must go to Baba Jaga's hut to fetch the light. We cannot work in the darkness." Vasilisa knew this was a trap, but she gave no choice. She took the wooden doll, gave it some bread and milk, and told of her fear. The doll ate and reassured her, "Do not be afraid, Vasilisa. Go to Baba Jaga's hut, and I will protect you." With the doll in her pocket, Vasilisa set off into the deep, dark forest. As she walked, strange things began to happen. First she encountered a man dressed in white on a white horse who rode past her and disappeared. Then she saw a man dressed in red on the red horse, and finally she saw a man dressed in black on the black horse who vanished into the night. At last she reached Baba Jaga's hut, standing on tall chicken legs and turned in circles. The fences around the hut was made of human bones, and skulls sat atop each post, their eyes glowing with eerie light. Vasilisa, though frightened, stood tall and called out, "Hut, hut, stand still, with your back to the forest and your front to me." The hut obeyed and stopped spinning, allowing Vasilisa to approach. Baba Jaga appeared, flying through the air in a giant mortar and steering with her pestle. She landed before Vasilisa and asked, "What do you want, little girl?" Vasilisa trembled but bravely answered, "I have come for the light. My stepmother sent me." Baba Jaga laughed. "I will give you a light, but only if you earn it. If you fail, I will eat you." With that, Baba Jaga set Vasilisa to work. She had to clean the witch's house, cook her food, wash her clothes, and separate giants of wheat from poppy seeds. All in a single day. It was an impossible task for a mortal. Vasilisa despaired, but she fed her doll, and once again the doll whispered, "Do not worry, Vasilisa. Go to sleep, and by morning it will be done." The next day, all the tasks were miraculously completed. Baba Jaga inspected the house, and though surprised, did not show it. You have done well, but tomorrow I will give you more tasks." Each day, Baba Jaga set Vasilisa a harder task, and each night the doll completed them. Finally, Baba Jaga asked, "How do you manage to finish all your work?" Then Vasilisa answered, "With my mother's blessing." At the mention of a blessing, Baba Jaga grew furious. "I did not allow blessings in my house. Leave at once." But before she sent Vasilisa away, she gave her a skull with burning eyes set inside. "Here is your light. Take it to your family." Vasilisa gratefully accepted the skull and hurried home. When she arrived, her stepmother and stepsisters, who had been unable to light any candles or fires while she was gone, eagerly welcomed her back. But as soon as she saw the skull's fiery eyes, the light from it leaped onto them, and they were burned to ash, consumed by their own wickedness. With her cruel family gone, Vasilisa buried the skull and left the dark forest behind. She went on to live with an old woman in a nearby town, where she grew to even more beautiful and kind. In time, the Tsar of the land heard of Vasilisa's beauty and wisdom. He sought her out, and they were soon married. And so Vasilisa and her courage, kindness, and the help of her mother's blessing became Tsarina, living happily ever after in a peace and prosperity.